Tonight we lead off with breaking news. Vice President Mike Pence says he will not invoke the 25th Amendment after the U.S. Capitol building was stormed last week. Now, in a letter addressed to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, the vice president saying, quote, with just 8 days left in the president's term, you and the Democratic caucus are demanding that the cabinet and I invoke the 25th Amendment. I do not believe that such a course of action is in the best interest of our nation or consistent with our Constitution, end quote. Now, this comes as some House Republicans jump ship tonight, saying they will, in fact, vote to impeach the president. On that list, House Republican Conference Chair Liz Cheney, the highest-ranking woman in the Republican Party. A possible vote on whether to impeach President Trump could come as soon as tomorrow, 1 week after the chaos that unfolded on Capitol Hill. And for a look at what's next, we do want to turn to WATE 6 on your side reporter Elizabeth Kubel. Elizabeth?
Yeah, Bo, the nation is bracing for an unprecedented situation. We're looking at the potential impeachment of one president just days before the inauguration of another. And if President Trump is impeached for a second time, that would be a first in U.S. history.
Never before in American history has an American president been impeached twice. And while that hasn't happened yet, it looks almost certain that it will happen tomorrow.
LMU constitutional law professor Stuart Harris breaking down what could be a historic week. One day after House Democrats filed an article of impeachment against President Trump.
Once the House has impeached, if indeed they do impeach tomorrow, then they will send those documents over to the Senate, and the Senate will hold a trial. Now there, it's a much bigger deal because it takes 2/3 of the senators to convict a president or any federal official in an impeachment proceeding.
Harris also explaining the possible punishments should the president face impeachment and a subsequent trial, and what that means for any future presidential bid.
Removal is only one of two penalties for impeachment. The other one is disqualification from ever holding a position of trust or profit. I believe that's the constitutional phrase in the federal government. So that means effectively that if 2/3 of senators vote to convict Trump, then he can be deprived of his ability to ever be president again.
About a year ago now, the House impeached President Trump for pressuring the Ukrainian president to investigate Biden. But the Senate acquitted him in February 2020. Harris calls it a night and day difference in comparison to recent moves to impeach the president following last week's attack on Capitol Hill.
So what we have now is much less partisan. It's much more bipartisan.
Still, Congressman Chuck Fleischmann told me last night he'd be voting no on impeaching the president. And his colleagues Tim Burchett and Diana Harshbarger both think an impeachment will only further divide the country. Bo?
All right, Elizabeth, thank you. Of course, we will be following the latest developments from Capitol Hill right here on WATE 6 on your side.